Hello, Kathleen here. And thank you immensely for exploring our channel and for following our videos as well. I appreciate that. So definitely click to follow if you found our work to be very helpful. And you're welcome to check out our website as well if you have any further questions. So let's look today at, how stress affects eating habits, right? And so, I've done previous videos on, weight gain, but we also want to look at how stress dulls the appetite as well, right? And so when we look at how stress affects the functions not only of eating but also digestion in many ways, right? And so when we are constantly producing stress hormones in the body, this tells the body to move blood flow from the digestive system to the extremities, because we're under threat. It's not a time to digest food. And so what happens then also is our digestive mechanisms natural to the body become very disrupted. And so that is one way that chronic stress, living in chronic stress, can really affect eating habits. So it affects people in two ways, right? Some people don't eat enough, right? So it dampens the appetite. And they tend to run on coffee and stimulants. And then for others, it affects them and turns them into, turns them to habits of self-medicating through eating what are often very poor quality foods that are not nutritious at all, and often very high in sugar and fats and sodium. And so when we are living in chronic stress, by way of eating, we're able to diminish the cortisol production. We're able to diminish the cortisol levels in the body because our brain releases dopamine every time that we eat. So it's a very sort of relieving exercise. One thing to bear in mind here is that the most amount of dopamine is actually released during the anticipatory period before actually consuming the food. So you can look at it as a way of the anticipation actually releases the most amount of dopamine, not actually the consumption of the food. So that has been very helpful for our clients in terms of understanding, that it's not actually about the consumption of the food, it's the anticipation. But really, right, you want to look at the underlying problem, which is the chronic stress. And so what I always recommend to clients is first, at least semi-alleviate the underlying challenge, and then the habit will begin to go away. So what you want to do is, when you feel that impulse to eat, or you feel the impulse to keep working and keep going and not eat, right? You probably know by now when you're living in chronic stress, right? You can sense the symptoms. And so, in those moments, often you'll feel a tightness in the chest. You might feel head pain, you might feel dizziness if it's really extreme stress levels. So in those moments, what you want to do is just apply a few simple tools to mitigate the stress response, right? So you can go into deep belly breathing, making sure the exhales are twice as long as the inhales, because with the exhales being longer, then we're engaging the parasympathetic response. And that's the calming. The nervous system, one of the branches of the nervous system is the parasympathetic, which is the calming. And so the healthy, happy, calm, relaxed person not living in chronic stress is going to experience a balance of the sympathetic and parasympathetic, right? And that's referred to as homeostasis. And so what we do here is You can sit down and take 20 breaths, right? Protracting the exhale, making it longer than the inhale. And also what you can do, there are some grounding techniques, not only putting your feet in the earth, but also there are grounding products online as well, where you can connect them to the third prong of the socket, which connects it to the energy of the earth. And we've found in the shoes, actually, of ancient Egyptians, the bottom wiring is made of copper, and so we know copper conducts frequencies from the earth and moves them into the body. And we've, many energy measurements show that the stress levels immediately drop in the human being when he or she is grounding. You can find grounding mats that you can put under your computer, or bedspreads that you can sleep on. So really fabulous ways. The other thing that you can do is, if you bring your awareness into the center of your heart and you breathe in and out of your heart, taking 4 to 5 seconds on your inhale, 4 to 5 seconds on your exhale, and you keep your awareness there and you sense your heart and you become more aware of your heart, this slows down the brain waves, right? It moves you from what is called high beta, which is when you're in chronic stress, down to alpha. So there are many different ways. I wouldn't overwhelm you. Do those strategies first before, and then you can have a snack, or so okay, beautiful. Have an amazing day. Thank you.